Hello, and thank you for watching this demonstration of the Brunelleschi Age of Architects early alpha downloadable client. This is version 00218, and it is available for free on IndieDB and will soon be available via early access on Steam. We have already been through the greenlight process, and so we're just working on getting all of those achievements and badges ready and getting the game polished up to gamer standards before we release it on early access. As you can see here, we're going to log in through the web game at brungame.com. This web game is 100% free to play, so you can log in at any time and help us test out our game. Brunelleschi is a combination of grand strategy games, such as Europa Universalis or Crusader Kings, and MMORPG games, which of course the majority of people are familiar with, similar to World of Warcraft. You can make a character, which is a normal RPG character, choosing from 30 available classes and with 1,000 available levels. You can also customize your character by selecting knacks. The game has a variety of gear, including pets, mounts, and other traditional MMORPG elements, as well as a more grand strategy theme of character collaborative governments and the creation of settlements. City building is a large aspect of the game, and in its free web game format, it will resemble some pre-existing city builder games like Icarium or Evany. It has elements that will be familiar to players of those games, as well as a few new things that haven't shown up previously. Alright, we've gotten logged in here to this character. This is Aesop Matt, and that's my test character. He lives in Discordia, which is the developer settlement that we've created just for testing out the lower ranks. This is not a particularly advanced or involved settlement. If you're interested in seeing some of the work that our players have done over the last 18 months of the open alpha, then there will be another video that I will make where we'll take a look at Timrath's settlement of Valathor, Laudi's settlement of Gugong, and some of the other larger, higher rank settlements in the game. And it looks like the initial part of the load-in has been successful. Now we're just going to select our 3D character here. This character is of course tied to our web game character and will allow us to visualize our settlement and interact with all of our property and take action in anything that we want to do like that. I believe this is our final loading screen, and in just a second we should be seeing the granary of Discordia. And there we go. Takes a second to load in. The flags there represent, in order, the flag of the sovereign of the settlement, the flag of the minister of the district, and the flag of the owner of the building. In this particular case, since this is the granary of the settlement, those are all three the same person. And you can see some NPC population representation milling about here. The NPCs that you see in the game are representative of the employment and occupancy of various buildings within the game. There are 196 buildings in Brunelleschi Age of Architects, each of which can be advanced through 13 development levels. Oops, looks like our character sheet's a little bit wrong here. Let's see if we can't... There we go. And we're looking at our character here. We have a variety of settings that we can choose, including zodiac sign, favorite season, favorite lunar phase, favorite colors, religions, philosophies, favorite day of the week, cultures. There's really a lot that goes into making a character in Brunelleschi. If you'd like to find out more about that, you can check out our YouTube channel at youtube.com/user/brungame, and there you'll find a bunch of videos on character and settlement creation. The game is relatively detailed and has a lot of depth. Each of these buildings can be managed by its owner. Buildings can be sold. It's possible for many hundreds of people to live within a single settlement, and even within settlements, political groups, such as families, orders, covens, sects, and other organizations can be easily formed just to create even more intrigue, as well as to work like traditional guilds in an MMORPG. On the larger scale, settlements themselves can form into coalitions, creating a further upper layer of political interaction. All aspects of settlement government, including laws, civics, economy, government, ministry, voting, all of that is entirely under player control, and we've given them over 13,000 options in terms of combinations for their settlement civic systems. Players can adjust any aspect of the game further via laws. Specific laws can be used to outlaw certain behaviors, activities, types of production, ownership of certain buildings, taking of actions. By default, the game has some secret and illegal actions built into it, which can be legalized by characters who want to sort of travel the path of enlightenment and experience the time period of the game. The game is set in a time period between 1400 and 1850, and it is considered to be low fantasy, with elements like magic, monsters, dragons, enchantments, and that sort of thing. They're present in the game, but not predominant or overwhelming. Players preferring a more realistic experience are, of course, going to be able to pursue that. We're not currently authorized to make use of these buildings because we don't own them, so mostly we're just taking a walking tour. Characters with ownership rights can use these various management screens to adjust things like the employment, occupancy, rent, and various other aspects of the building. As you can see here, we have an information sign in front of every major building, in front of, in fact, all of the buildings, just giving some information about who the owner is and what's going on with that building, even to just normal passersby. This is the interior of the community center. The community center is the main building of the residential district, and it's just a place for characters to gather and speak to the housing inspector, who is the minister here. This is their desk. The desk interface is currently a work in progress, and we are working to make that desk interface fairly similar to your standard city management type of games, where you'll be able to view things like the happiness of the district and the health of the district, and the activities of the NPC characters, peasants, peers, yeomen, and other characters such as the elderly or the sick. Here we see some guys just working on the canal infrastructure. Canal infrastructure is one of our transportation districts. The transportation aspect of the game is relatively involved and starts out with things like humble trading canoes and moves all the way up to, steam trains and ironclad ships and things of that type, steamships. Here we can see that the majority of the buildings in Brunn do have some sort of interior. If I hit the Go Home button, for example, I will be taken to my home. I live in the granary, being a fairly low-level character and living sort of at the sufferance of the government. But depending on where your character is housed, you might see a variety of interiors. As the game advances and progresses in a 3D sense, we will be able to add more features, such as the ability to store items in the chests and decorate the rooms. All of this is available on a roadmap, which is publicly visible to players of the game. We are also known to update the game every 2 or 3 days, and our blog at brungame.blogspot.com is updated every 2 days and will be for about the next 5 months. The web game is approaching feature completion, and as soon as the web game is polished, we'll be releasing it to customers. Right now, it's 100% free to play, but we do accept support in the form of purchases of the in-game currency, which is platinum. In-game currency purchases made during this beta or alpha time are not only immediately issued to characters, allowing them to experience more during the testing phase, but will also be reissued to players at the official release. So there's really no risk. If you spend money during the beta and for some reason you lose whatever you spend the money on, it will be made available to you again during the release. So it's almost a money-back guarantee. You really get double your platinum if you buy in at this point. We also have unique badges available to early adopters, which will be present throughout the course of the game. Like I say, everything you see here is early pre-alpha footage. We are working on polishing the engine right now, and as the engine approaches completion, we'll be able to turn more and more focus here to the development of the three-dimensional game, which makes use of all of those engine functions. All right, well, I am running out of time here, so thank you very much. If you've listened through all of this, I really appreciate it. We are always looking for more testers and players in the alpha and beta versions of the game, so we'd really appreciate it if you'd join us at brungame.com. And thanks again. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel for more information.